Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer and stylist and cookbook author. And I can't say soon to be published because it is published. And I've missed you all in the last couple of weeks as I've had my book launch event and have just been so knackered from all the media. I almost canceled today as well too because I'm in a media tour that just is not ending. And I'm tired. I can barely form words. So we'll see how we get through today. If you are watching, come say hi in chat. Let me know what you are up to today. Today, what I am doing is I am setting up my month of June, even though I haven't even really used May, because I've just been trying to make it through one interview to the other. It's been a wild trip, let me tell you. I sold out on Amazon Canada on my first day, and it took them nearly 2 weeks for them to restock. That was wild. So yeah, I am setting up my month of June, and I have to update my calendar because a lot of things have been added here, and I have not been able to. I just have not had the brain power to do anything outside of one interview to the next this week, both on Wednesday and Thursday. Film crews, news crews were in my house to like do a news story with video about my techniques, how I develop recipes, how I made the cookbook, stuff like that. So it's been wild. Yeah, setting up June. And hopefully I will get back on track. I have interviews again. Hello, Solange. Nice to see you. Let me know what you are working on this evening. Have you purchased your Jibun Techo yet? Are you enjoying it? If you have, let me know. What was I gonna? Yeah, I have I have interviews all this week as well. And I'm tired. I mean, at least people are wanting to interview me about my book, and that's really awesome. But it is exhausting. Um, my book launch event was amazing, so that was nice. It was hot, but it was good. June, that is what I'm looking for. Um, what else? Yeah, so I've been basically just dedicating every single day to being rested up enough to do my one interview for the day before crashing and recouping to do it all over again the next day. And eventually I'm going to have to, I have, at the end of June is my quarterly 2 month staycation. So my plan for that, hopefully, the hope is to be able to go back and backfill everything that happened in May and throughout June because I really want to have my um, publishing month well documented. And so, yeah, I've had my Canadian pub date, my America, and most of the rest of the world pub date. And then on the 30th, I have my UK pub date. And you would think that they would do it on the 16th as everyone else did. However, because of Brexit and it just now takes longer to get things imported into the UK, so their pub date has been is now like late-ish, later compared to everyone else in the rest of the world. So has been an interesting time in my household. I'm just adding, for those of you who haven't watched me do this before, I'm adding tabs to the different sections of my journals, so that it's easy to find things and flip to them when I need to. Um, Monthly. I got these tabs on Amazon. Yeah, on Amazon. And I think I linked to them once before in a video, but if I did, I can't remember which video that is to point you all to. I can't believe, like, I have completely almost fallen out of my days. Like, I have one more left in this. One more month left in this, I should say. And I've used it, but not as much as I usually do, just because I have not had the brain power to do so. And as I've discussed before, I have felt very untethered as a result. But also, that's a thing that I'm hoping. I have enough things in my electric calendar to remember what I was doing on some days, and I can still go and back decorate it, fill in some journaling. I haven't done my weekly journaling at all since my pub date, again, because I've just been beyond exhausted. Um, Doing the interviews is a lot. Yesterday, after my interview, I could barely form words for the rest of the day. It was interesting to attempt to talk with me. I am looking for my, where would I have put it? Normally it's right here. I have stickers that I use, like these, that I plop down. I do not see what I did with them. Oh, Jules. It can't be that ridiculous. I mean, it can be that ridiculous. That is for absolute sure. Hmm. Why are they not here? Why did I not put them back? And I put them in, yeah. So I did have them not that long ago. Excuse me while I fumble. Wow. I am really not doing well today. Okay. Well, I think that is something that is going to have to wait until later, until I track down what I did with them. That is really bizarre. So we are going to move on to setting up my month here. And the first thing I need to do, because I have these last 2 weeks off, is I'm going to get some washi, and I'm going to block those 2 weeks off. And I'm just wondering, what washi do I want to use? Something that has some type of, what did I use last time for March? I used that. I think we're into June. I think I want to use this. But what I need to do is to get another one of these to act as a thing. First I need to put this here. It's going to make sense in a minute, I hope. And just to put this down here so I can rip on the edge and have a nice clean edge. Clean-ish edge, I should say. And then do it again here. this way. Solange is saying that they still have to order the planner, or they have ordered the planner, but they're still waiting for it. Awesome. I really hope you like it. I mean, I love it, but what works for me is not necessarily going to work for everybody else. I think it's the most versatile. I mean, I've already told you why I love using it so much. And I'm always nervous that when I love something so much, and I mean, it's not like I take it personally if the person, like, someone takes my recommendation and they don't like it, but I'm upset only because I want the person to have something they enjoy, and it's like, oh, it's just too bad. So, oh, yeah, oh, come on. I don't know why this is being so difficult. Well, I know why. My hands are also not working too well these days. It was a funny thing that happened when the news crews were in my house, just dropping everything all the time. Um, but that's how it happens when you have mobility issues and grasping issues. It was real. They got a real experience of what it's like to cook when you're disabled and have mobility issues. Um, that's close enough. Don't want to. What I'm gonna do, even though I normally don't plan into the next month, I'm just going to block off these 2 days, knowing what Solange is saying. Don't worry, you are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. To block off these 2 days, just so it's done, and I'm not having to hunt down the same. Oh no, how did that happen? Okay, that's fine. A little oops. So I don't have to hunt down the same washi tape as what I was saying before that happened. I'm just gonna tape over it. No big deal. Try this again. It's not perfect, but it will do. Okay, so I'm going to start putting in my appointments for June, but then I'm also going to backfill appointments that I haven't added here. So on um, I'm trying to get the calendar, go to June. So on the 2nd of June, I have a radio interview, Wisconsin Public Radio. Yeah, WPR, Wisconsin Public Radio. And then I have to pick up my art. Some of my art is currently in a art exhibit. Pick up art. So I have to pick that up. I have to. Um, shop is on the 9th. And shopping on the 23rd. And hi, Anomic, how are you? What are you working on today? Live plan with me. Saturdays. And what else do I have? Have doctor's appointment on the 16th. And on the 8th, food meeting. Anamik is still struggling with meal planning for today. I, I, I do not envy you. I know, I have a really good understanding of, yeah, all the obstacles you have to go through. And then, um, meeting on this day. Um, mm, what else? I think that's it for now. So yeah. Oh, you got your copy and it looks fantastic. Thank you. I'm so glad. So glad you got your copy. If once you've had a chance to go through it, I hate asking, but I'm it's a thing that I'm supposed to ask. If you wouldn't mind leaving a review wherever you bought it from, it doesn't have to be anything like extravagant, just a sentence or two. It really helps to for it to show up in search and for people who need the book to be able to find it. Um, so yeah, if you received my book and you liked it, um, then reviews wherever you bought it from are deeply, deeply appreciated. I need my color code. I'm very. Gotten really good feedback so far and some really good reviews, and I'm very proud of it. Days off number 3. So yeah, as I was saying, I think I'm so far on books. I have my thank you anomic. On books, I have my last interview for this in like 4 weeks. How much is the clock there? Okay, so what time is it? It is 13:18. So 9 hours before you is the time. Um, so yeah, I'm technically done. Almost every single day for the last 4 weeks, I have had an interview, and then I get a little bit of break unless another media person comes up after Friday. But then my publisher is doing another PR push for July because July is Disability Pride Month, and I'm really happy about it. But at the same time, I was not expecting to have this much media interest. It's been a lot, like so much. Yeah, time off is this color. It's been very, very difficult to cope with. And I'm not complaining. Absolutely not. But also, I am very fatigued. I haven't had, like, even a lot of my days off, my Mondays, my 4-day work week. I haven't been able to have a proper 4-day work week in over a month now. And I knew that would be it. I knew that would be the situation once the book was published. I did not anticipate um, that it would just be this extra. Has been a lot. Um, Business meetings. MG20. Is it? No, 030, sorry. Um, this is a business meeting. This is a business meeting. Yes, those are business meetings. And then personal LCG, which is this one. Now, like I was saying, they can imagine that it's a lot to deal with. Yes. I mean, but it's been good for the most part. I had one interview that did not go well, and I will never speak of it. I will never say the outlet, but the rest of them have been excellent. Um, yeah. And if you haven't seen it yet, in the community like posts, I posted the video for the launch event, which went really well. So if you ever have an hour and a half that you want to, I mean, you can even like put it on in the background and listen to it like a podcast. Um, that is there as well. I was very pleased with how that went. There was a lot of really good questions during it. There's this one lady named Terry. Oh my gosh. She was awesome. She purchased the book prior and she read it prior and she came equipped with all the questions. And at one part, she decided she was going to clarify, I am a complete stranger to Jules. Jules does not know me. I just love his book. I'm not here as a plant. And normally events like that would exhaust me, and I was not tired afterwards, and I had so much energy. I'm like, I want to do a book tour now because it was fun and people asked really good questions. But if I was to do a book tour, I joked that I would have to bring Terry with me as an actual plant for in the future, um, because yeah, she was just absolutely amazing with her questions, and yeah, it was just so much fun. It went a little bit longer than anticipated, but everyone was fine with it. Everyone had a good time, even despite the fact that it was like extremely hot. Anamika is saying that they need to know the name of the terrible outlet now. Oh, yeah, no. And it was on live TV to boot, which made it even more mortifying to me. They did not, the person who prepped the show host with the questions did not do any research on the book or the content. As an example, they thought that when I was talking about spoons in the cover copy, that was about measuring. So they asked me this question about how disabled people have problems measuring, and I was so confused, and I had to make up some answer on this. Like I just had no idea what they were talking about, and I'm like, what are they going on about? This is not it was horrible. And then they thought that I was gonna have like dishes prepared to show them. And I'm like, I'm not having nothing to show you at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, are you? But yeah, it was just very awkward questions that were not pertinent to the book. Um, yeah, it was like bad anomic. Like I'm not even I'm not even yeah. It was horrifying. Absolutely mortifying. And I don't want to I don't want people like they will if they will find the interview and whatever, but I'm not going to go out of my way to point it out. That's for dang sure. Um mm, what else? I'm gonna do some backfilling on this month because as you missed, but I've just been like go go go. I have not had any my only focus every single day basically for the past month has been getting through my interview for the day. And then that's it. Like the I've only had the brain power for um that. Um, I'm not going to say that they were just joking about saying the name. Okay, good. But if you wanted to, if anyone's curious, hopefully what I'm about to type in chat is the right link. And there is some press appearances there that I am proud of, that if you want to catch up on anything or listen to any of my radio interviews or whatever, then they are there for your interest. Okay, so on the 16th, I was on CBC BC Today Radio. CBC BC Today. That was a fun interview. That was like half an hour long, and they really got into the meat of the book. Two more. What else happened on that day? The meeting. Okay, yeah. And then oh, that's the 24th. Back. Get keys, focus time. Oh yeah, I had Civil interview with Civil Eats on that day, and I had a meeting, PR meeting on this day, and then on the 19th was a reprieve, and this was a holiday, so that was a reprieve. The 22nd was prep for Radio Canada Vancouver came to my house on the 24th. Um, oh, Radio, cross this out and write it properly. This is a TV spot in French and online article that will be coming out in a couple weeks. And then CBC Victoria came to my house on Thursday, and that will be out in a week or so. It's a bunch of social media spots, radio spots, and article. CBC Victoria. The National Post was yesterday. On Tuesday, I have a Queries, Qualms, and Quirks recording. Wednesday, I have an interview with the Tai, which is a local like newspaper thing. So yeah, I've had a lot of interviews this month. Like as I color this in, you'll just see how, because even these are outlined in, because those were also book days. Oh yeah, and then I need to put UK book day here. So circle this with this. Um, yeah, put the lid on this. I really get back. Um, I'm getting out of the lines. My hands just do not want to work. My body is like, we're done. No more. It's time for a holiday. So yeah, that has been my almost every single day this month has been filled with book PR. It's a lot. It is an absolute lot. Anomic is saying that they would have asked if you had a chance to watch anything but interviews. Um, I have. We have caught up on Barry. We still have to watch the finale. We are currently watching Fubar, and that is going really hilarious. um, But other than that, it has been just our usual stuff, like Barry, because yes, I've just been exhausted and have had no time. Like once 6 o'clock rolls around, I exercise because I need to do that to keep sane. And then I just crash on the couch. And even though there'll be something we're like doing a Friends rewatch, so I'll have Friends playing on in the background, but I'm not really engaging with it because, and that's why I'm rewatching Friends, is because I've seen it enough times where I know every episode inside and out, and I don't have to be an active watcher to be able to know what's going on. So that has been my life, is interviews, exercising, mindless television, and sleep. So Fubar, we finished episode 3 last night. It's hilarious. And a really weird thing about Fubar is they're making Arnold Schwarzenegger short in it, like using perspective tricks to make him look a lot shorter than he is. And I don't understand why they're doing it. But it's hilarious. They're making him look like he's like 5'10" instead of 6'2". And there's been a lot of callbacks to a lot of his movies in each episode, and it's really, really fun fan service, and it's been really, really hilarious. But I'm like, why are they making him short? And I'm wondering if it is a nod to the fact that there were a lot of like action stars that were famous during his time that refused to star in movies with Schwarzenegger because he was so tall unless they made him shorter. And I'm just wondering if it is a callback to all the action stars that would not be in movies with him because he was so much taller than them. I've asked him on Twitter for like, can you explain it? I haven't divulged my theory, but if he doesn't respond, then I'm gonna add a reply to that saying like, my theory is that it's an inside joke to the fact that all these action stars refuse to star with you because you towered over them. Because like his the actress who plays his daughter is something like 5'8". Let me do the math. She's 1 meter and 1.7 meters. So meters to feet. So 1.7 meters is just under 5.5 feet. So yeah, 5'6". The actress who plays his daughter is around 5'6", and he looks like maybe 2 inches taller than her on the screen, and it's hilarious because he's a good 8 inches taller than her in real life, and and I don't know how many people notice that, but being autistic, I notice these type of things, and it's really distracting to me. Not in a bad way, but in a way that's like, why are they doing this? What the heck is going on? So yeah, it's fun. It's just really fun. It is. It is very like, and it makes no sense except for it to be funny. Okay, so I need to add a little bit of deco to my tune. What do I want to add? I mean, there has to be a reason to do it. There absolutely has to be some reason, because I know Arnold would not be like finally giving in to a demand that they make him short. Um, like it has to be something to do with the feud between him and Stallone and him and Van Damme or something. Like that's the only reason I can think for it. And that just makes it even more hilarious to me. I like those type of things. And it took my partner, because my partner's ADHD makes it such that they don't notice that type of stuff. Like I swear my hair could be on fire and they would not notice. Or if I were to dye it like some color, like blue or purple, I think it would take them a long time to notice it. They say if it was that drastic, they would notice it. But I'm like, they made Arnold Schwarzenegger 6 inches shorter than he actually is, and you didn't notice it until I pointed it out. So don't tell me that you would notice if my hair was on fire, because that's a real big difference. Right? It's fun though. It's absolutely fun. So yeah, I want some. Also, um, you should totally dye it. I used to. I mean, yeah, just for the reaction, right? I used to dye my hair colors like that, so it's not it would not be out of character, except for my partner has never seen um he my hair colored a non-natural hair color, so it would be fun. Um, Gosh, but yeah, I think it helps if you are a fan of okay, here we go, of Schwarzenegger's movies. Going into it, you don't have to be, but it is extra enjoyable if you are a fan of his movies because they either pull like lines, some of his famous one-liners from those movies, or they like recreate some of the action scenes and put them in FUBAR, but in different situations. So, have you seen the movie True Lies? This isn't a spoiler, but it's an example that I want to, or a one that is not actually a spoiler that they put in the trailer for FUBAR, is recreating one of the motorcycle, like him getting on a motorcycle and driving off in Terminator 2, is an example of them recreating a scene, um, a famous scene of his. And he says, "I'll be back." At least twice so far in the first couple of episodes. And so it's good. It is fun. And he's a very good comedic actor. I always forget how funny he is because some of the comedies that he was in were not good. But like he's some people were like, I don't know, Schwarzenegger is not a good comedic actor. He's a great comedic actor in this one. So let's do this, and then let's see here. Come on, I'm wondering. I want like some book things again, even though. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I mean, this is. Oh, no. Should have want one of these like to be some side washy. Should have put it this. These are oh crud. No, not these ones. I have maybe some butterflies. These are all ones that. Oh no, they don't require glue sticks. Not those ones. Oh, I know. Here's some food. I want to add some more food stickers on this. Just because I now my month is pretty much filled in where I don't want to cover the head though. So I'm going to put it, actually put it up here. Yeah, because those are days. Um, what is this? This is September. Do some cheese. No, that's too big. Wine. Let's do that. No, I actually want that one. That one matches this color better. What else? I mean, I feel like I should like have more going on, as if I don't have enough going on right now, or have had like yeah, as if my life has not been exciting enough recently. Like, come on, Jules, don't be ridiculous. Namak is saying we have this coming Monday off Memorial Day. You had last Monday, correct? Yes, we did. It was Victoria Day, which is the celebration of Queen Victoria's birthday, because Queen Victoria was the queen when Canada confederated, when Canada got its second constitution. And um, it's also now the de facto day that Canada celebrates whatever reigning monarch's birthday. Like, even though King Charles's birthday was not on Victoria Day, it is also the de facto king's or queen's birthday in Canada. It's weird. It's one of those weird things as part of our constitutional monarchy, but it is what it is, and it's one of those things that just makes Canada weird and wonderful, and that there's no point trying to understand. Um, and I'm saying we honor the fallen military in the war. Yes, we do that on Remembrance Day, Armistice Day, on November 11th, which you do Veterans Day, which you honor all veterans. We just honor fallen soldiers on Remembrance Day. My member of parliament, which is like your representative, no, yeah, not state represent, whatever, your representative in Congress, you federal representative, what a member of parliament is. And my member of parliament has introduced a bill, private member's bill, to create another day that would act like your Veterans Day, that would be to honor all soldiers who have served and not just ones that have died in the service of protecting Canada. So, and maybe, I don't know when we would have that. We don't have any statutory holidays in June. So maybe that is when it would be. I do not know. Or maybe we do. Oh, I have to figure out birthdays. That is a thing I did not check. Do I have any birthdays in June? Um, so it's bizarre to me. Like, this is one of the weird quirks about America, is that the whole entire rest of the world uses November 11th to remember the end of the First World War and for fallen soldiers who died in war. And America is like, no, we need to have a different day for that. We're going to use November 11th for um, honoring all. Um, no, I don't have any birthdays in June for honoring all veterans. Um, so it, it's amusing to me. Um, do you have any in October? We have Columbus Indigenous Day. October is our Thanksgiving, which has nothing to do with pilgrims. Our Thanksgiving has to do with like it has more of a religious background. Our Thanksgiving is actually older than America's Thanksgiving. I think the first time Thanksgiving was celebrated in Canada was in the 1500s. Like mid 1500s was the first time Thanksgiving was celebrated in Canada. And it's for the harvest, but it's also like giving thanks to um, the Almighty, the divine, whatever. Now it's more secular, not as religious, but it started as a religious observance in Canada. And then end of August is National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, which is a holiday that. But yeah, Columbus is not part of our history. So, we don't learn about Columbus at all in Canadian history. We learn about Vikings because Vikings were the first Europeans to come to Canada in the 1100s, and they made a colony, but it did not last long. It was very temporary. Leif Erikson, maybe it was before the 1100s, but yeah, Leif Erikson, Vikings were the first Europeans to um, not truly part of ours either. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we don't learn about Columbus at all. Yeah, he was down in the West Indies. Yeah. So I understand that, but it's weird. Like that, just because he never actually stepped foot on what is now known as North America is just bizarre to me. Friends of mine came up a few years. We had at my favorite museum an interactive exhibit for a month long about Vikings. And a friends of mine were up from America on their honeymoon on a cruise, and one of their stops was in Victoria. So we took them to, because they were really into Vikings. And so we took them to this exhibit, and they had no idea that Vikings were in North America, like long, long, long before any other European settlers came here, because they're not taught that in America. And they just found that absolutely fascinating how differently like the whole history of Western Europeans in North America is taught differently in Canada versus America. And yeah, it's fascinating. Like it's absolutely fascinating. And then French settlers were the first permanent settlers in Canada in what was New France, which was part of like New France, as you will know, was all the way like Quebec, all the way down to Louisiana and the Louisiana Purchase and all that. And I'm like saying they barely teach anything down here. I laugh only because that's tragic and true and unfortunate, very unfortunate, and it's just getting worse. Um, but also, it's interesting that a lot of Americans do not know that French settlers were also what is now the United States of America were there prior to the British settlers of New England. And the whole New France that went from Quebec all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico is like taught as secondary part of America's history. And I'm just wondering if that is because it did not play such a big role in the Revolutionary War, and France was like an ally then. It's I don't know. It's just weird to me. I'm not like saying if you want to know, you better research yourself. Yeah. What else do I want to put here that is like food and book related? Um, then there's other things about American history that are just really bizarre to me, like um, New Amsterdam and being like renamed New York, and that's just bizarre to me. I mean, we had York because there's like York in England. There was York, Toronto, which became, or yeah, York, Ontario, which became Toronto, and then New Amsterdam, which became New York. And it's just like, why? We understand why York became Toronto. I don't understand why New Amsterdam became New York. And then, um, but in Canada, like we have a whole bunch of place names that are named after a British town. London, York as an example, Sydney, um, Surrey, and we have more. And we didn't do new before it, so it's really confusing. Like if someone's talking about I come from London, my first question is London, UK, or London, Ontario. You need to be specific there because those mean two separate things. Um, it's really bizarre to me that there isn't an Ontario, California. Like New London. Yeah, that's what you would have done in America was named it New London. But we don't have like do you have a New London? That would not surprise me. Um, but like there's an Ontario, California. And I'm like, what is that about? Because Ontario is an indigenous, like, I don't understand. Anomik is saying, we are better and fresher. LOL. It's weird. I am looking for something that I saw, and then my brain is like, I don't see it anymore. Here it is. Is there, I think I want some plants too. Oh yeah, I was saying the temperatures. We had an almost 40 degrees Celsius the other day, um, which is, let me do Celsius, like 100 and something Fahrenheit. 40. 104 in May. All of Canada's burning down. We have like forest fires even in the northern, yeah, even in the northern territories. Like we were having August temperatures in May. The summer is going to be the worst. Absolutely the worst. Um, so I don't know. And you guys are all getting your smoke down there. It's like I was watching live with Kelly and Mark the other morning, and they showed us pictures of the wildfire smoke from up here that is like all the way down in New York. It's bad. I want a houseplant. Oh, what is the first day of summer? That's in June. Is it like the 21st? First day of summer. First day of summer 2020. No, not school, summer. Summer 2023. The 21st to the Friday. That makes no sense. But so it says, where did I put? Here we go. They said that Alaska might feel like Florida in 2023. Yeah. Also, okay, Anomik saying we had a couple of hazy days here from the smoke, and we are in Pennsylvania now. Jeez, yeah. Summer. Um, New York, because of all the weight of the buildings, is sinking 1 centimeter a year. And I think I also learned that on Kelly and Mark, and they're like, that's not a lot. It's only a centimeter a year. And like that is a lot. A centimeter a year, especially when you are a coastal city, that's a lot of sinking. You guys need to stop letting people come to New York. You can't keep anybody else out. And I'm saying, yes, they saw that the other day. Yeah, it's like scary. Imagine having like just being so heavy with buildings that you're sinking. What is that? That's like a no, thank you. I like not a fan of that. These are also big. I don't want them big. I want a little. I want something that will. That will do. And if I have to do more things on the 21st, oh well. I'll figure out a way to include it in there. We'll fix those after. Some, oh, there we go. It's a little bit in the crease, but it will do. Okay, and let me try and do a food thing before I move on to set up some other stuff. Oh, this is writing. I meant. Um, this is good because this is like relaxation for my holiday. May not make sense to anybody else, but it is mine. Oh, I just want that one. Maybe stick. No, not a candle. We'll just put the music player. And I feel like I'm missing something. I've just been so out of my planners like these past few months that every time I do this, it's like, what am I forgetting to do? And I really don't think it's anything, but at the same time, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I do. Those are all too big. I was like hoping, no, those are all too big. Um, let's go. What a month. This is, I can put something in here. Absolutely. So, oh, I think these are like book um, spines in here. I think, which is perfect for this blank space. Yes. Let me find something that not necessarily book spines, but they are like text, decorative. Is that repeating already? I'll just start at the beginning. I'm not going to cherry pick because then we'll be here for 100 hours, and I have to remember not to overthink my process and not to get stuck in my head about it. Are these sticker backs, or do I have to? Nope, they're sticker backs. Oh, it's washi. That's a nice surprise. I want something here too. That's too long. I still have to print out, oh, come on, a cover of my book. Yeah, the cover of my book. You know what I meant. These are fireworks. I don't want the color. Is this. This doesn't quite fit. Oh. I mean, these are like, I have like all sorts of like color missy matchies going on here, but I don't. Oh, this one works. This one's very appropriate. How is your boy Archer doing? He is doing great. They were really excited to have both Archer and Ziggy were really excited to have the film crews in the house on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday was a bit harder for them because they had to be in the kennel. Like, I had them still in the room with us so they could see and not be like in another room freaking out, like being able to like hearing us and not being able to see the action. But Like, you got to say hi and play and whatever for like 20 minutes before we had to put them away. And he just was not happy. But when I'm cooking, he tries to steal stuff off of the table so he cannot be there while I'm cooking. Um, Especially when I'm filming. Like, if I'm cooking on my own, if there was nobody filming it, I could have like had treats in one hand and like getting him to do a stay down and getting him to behave that way. But there's no way that I can like do the training for the dog and do the filming and not create a disaster. And then on Thursday, when the other crews were here, because there was no cooking involved, they got to walk around and be part of the action and hang out on the deck. And so they were just really happy with that because with still being in a panini, even though people are pretending that we're not, and everybody was masked. So it was, yeah, it is too much going on at once. Everyone was masked and everything, but still, we still have to be very selective about how like people coming to the house, how often or whatever, because we can't really take any chances of me getting ill. And so they've been really starved for human interaction outside of my partner and I, outside of me and my partner. Yeah, my partner and me. So that was nice for them. Um, but yeah, he's good. Ziggy's good. Ziggy is the quiet one, as always. Archer's the rambunctious one, as always. I think done with this for now. I'm going to go over and set up my list here. Let's see. Let's do a quick review. So I was present and grounded for most of this month, so I did succeed there. I succeeded with my no spin. Did I enjoy my debut as much as possible with everything going on? Things I have to do. Yeah, I let my book be published. It seems silly. I did the PR stuff. So I have enjoyed it for the breathing. I could have done a better job breathing this month. And yes, he is the one that you hear snoring. He is a very loud snorer. Um, and sometimes he even fakes it, which is funny. He'll be wide awake, watching you, snoring, which I will never not find hilarious. um, he likes to trick people to get his way. So this month's um, goals, themes, is to recover before we start this all over again for July. So recover and recenter. Oh, another amazing thing that I learned this week is I know I guess saying a good intruder trick. Yeah. And another thing that I learned this week is that not only is my book in libraries across North America, but it is now in libraries internationally. I've only been able to find there's a university library in Australia that's getting it in stock, and then there's a university library in Germany that has has my book in stock, which is amazing. I really like. Sure, public libraries are great, but there's a number of university libraries that have decided to carry my book, which I especially love. And things I want to do, things I have to do. I have to do more PR. It's a PR cycle that never ends. Things I no spend. And then, I mean, we'll see. I mean, my staycation. I'm going to put things I want to do. I'm going to put my staycation because I'm pretty sure it's going to be interrupted as more press starts for Disability Pride Month in July. And I'm like saying, Jules said, if you don't like spicy food, get some flatbread. That was awesome. Yes. Exactly. Like, yeah. I mean, if you don't like this, if you don't like the spice, like that's why flatbread was invented. Well, that's for spicy food. Use it. I'm glad. I'm glad you found that enjoyable. I'm not gonna make my cookbook not heat. Not have flavor. I use the right amount, not the white amount. as as oh my goodness. What is the character's name? Uncle, oh gosh. Mm, I, you know what I'm the YouTube character I'm talking about. And I'm like saying that was so funny to me that I laughed so hard and showed my partner. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Like I really tried. It's I think my favorite feedback so far has been from racialized people. Yeah, Uncle Roger, thank you. Has been from racialized people who appreciate the fact that I did not whiteify the recipes, that like I gave techniques that if you don't like the spice amount, like here's word for this month. I mean, this doesn't have an apostrophe. But also, like, use the dang flatbread. Make yourself some roti or buy some naan or something. Like, but what do you think? Why it's also it's a utensil and it is helps to absorb the capsaicin. What I was able to do. Um, what I couldn't do. I'm also hoping that there are some recipes in there that your kids will enjoy. I think there's a couple that meet the restrictions, or at least if you did some of the substitutions that I suggest. What I did, what I reflected on. Um, People I met. Gosh, I met a lot of people this month. I have to get the guest list. Oh, another thing. There was this. I mean, there was a lot of people who asked me to sign the copies of their book at my book launch event, but there was this really quiet spoken old man. He was at least like late to early 90s, like mid to late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there. Very soft spoken. Um, and in like the quietest of whispers, he came up to the signing table and had me sign his book and thanked me for the event. And I that was like my favorite. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I mean, part of it was just because he was very sweet, and I think another part of it has to do with being a visibly queer person, what I learned, and connecting with an older generation that has a reputation for not being open minded, which is not the case. I mean, I know more open minded older people than I do younger people these days. But I think it's just the whole connecting between, like, he was old enough to be my grandpa. Um, so yeah, it was just that whole connection there that I just found very sweet. Please have this child, me. I mean, I'm not a child in some instance, but to him, I am a child. And please have this child sign your book. Like, Anamika is saying is they're going to try some. They will let the kids pick out one they want to make. Oh, that's a great idea, because they are easy enough for the kids to make. I mean, that's another great thing, is that you can hand the book to your kids. Um, at basically, I like from 8 on, maybe even a 7-year-old, depending on how much you trust them to do chopping and stuff like that. But it is one of those things where it is easy, and you don't have to worry about them starting a fire in the kitchen. I found what I was looking for earlier. So that's always nice. Yeah, and the steps are um, easy enough where they can follow along and not get overwhelmed. Do I put these on the outside? I think I do. It don't matter. I'm just going to do what feels right. I also, you personally, I want you to try the chili recipe and let me know what you think, because not it's not like the chili, a lot of the chili recipes that are out there, and it's not like yeah, it is. I mean, chili is an American dish, but mine is different in some ways, and it's not bland. Obviously, I mean, I don't do bland cooking, but I find a lot of the Instapot chili recipes that are out there are just so without flavor, and this is not that. Mine has flavor, a lot of flavor. Yes, one in. That's like 2 in. I don't. Okay, on that line. Oh, and the Mexican casserole. That's another one that I think you'd enjoy. I'm not quite sure your kids will enjoy it because of the beans, but it is flavorful. It's a an American dish that is, well, not American. That one's Mexican, but it has flavors that eventually became incorporated into what is now Tex-Mex, even though it's not a Tex-Mex dish. Anomik got some milk and flatbread and make it the way it's written. Yes, that's how you do it. Or even cheese, some really fatty, um, nice, extra aged cheddar cheese. I recommend that as a sour cream. Also, is a um, good thing to have with it. Sour cream or extra aged cheddar cheese. And if that doesn't work, well, then use the tips that I give for reducing the heat. But it's not I don't know. I don't know your heat tolerance. As you know, I have a pretty high heat tolerance, and growing up in around Punjabi people, my heat score is skewed as a result. My heat ratings are based off of Punjabi food. And what I grew up with. Being told is hot and spicy, and being told what is not. Anomik saying that they like spice, but the kids only one of them likes spice. It's always so difficult. I was lucky that my kids did not have different tastes in that way because they are each neurodivergent, but in different ways. They would each go through phases, which is normal, where like all they wanted, say for a week, was bananas and oatmeal, as an example. And it used to really stress me out until the children's dietitian um, was like, you know what? No, it's not going to kill them. And yeah, it's not going to kill them. And they're still getting protein and nutrients and whatever. And that's kids do that. Yours just do it a little bit extra, but it's fine. As long as they eat is all that matters. Anamika is saying there was an episode on Psych. He said, "What do you season this with? Molten lava?" I'm, I am expecting comments like that from people. So far, I have not gotten that. Everyone has just been really happy with, like, a lot of the reviews are like, I sat down and I read it cover to cover. Like, who reads a cookbook cover to cover? Like, it's just so many things in it that are different and new. So it's been very well received so far, which is nice. Oh, we're almost getting on time, or getting to time. Come on. Doesn't have to be perfect, Jules. I'm not gonna say you put a ton of effort into it. It shows. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, it's one thing to think that you did a good job, but I'm not my best. Like, I'm overly critical of myself often, and I don't, like, it took, I don't know, like 5 people or 6 people in a row came up to the signing booth and told me how much they enjoyed the event and like my book launch and how good it was and just how much they loved my book. And I'm like, thank you, thank you. And then when it was done, one of my best friends and my PR person at Touchwood, they both basically said at the same thing. Do you now believe that you did an excellent job on this? Like, do you now have enough empirical evidence to know that you did good and we're not just blowing smoke up your butt? So, and like, I'm starting to believe that. But it's that part of me that's informed by trauma and that I was never good enough. That is like, maybe people are just being polite. Maybe they don't actually think it's good. And I think a lot of people can relate to that voice, and I don't think we talk about that enough. We're not supposed to show that we are uncertain or that we second guess ourselves. And I'm like, screw that. I only know how to be honest and be myself. And if I'm uncertain, I'm going to let people know. And it's not me fishing for compliments. It's just how I'm feeling. And people need to know that it's okay to feel this way. So, and so far, nobody has gotten angry about the food histories and the decolonization and stuff. It's going to come. I've been warned, like, ignore the Goodreads stuff because there are people who are going to, like, eventually there'll be a review that, like, rages against its wokeness. And I'm like saying, you might think that you polite Canadians, but us Americans will tell you like it is, and it's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I'm waiting for the first angry review calling me woke, and so I could be like, thank you. I take a lot of effort into undoing whiteness and white supremacy within me and around me. So, thank you. That means a lot that you recognize that, and that will just drive them up the wall. That will absolutely drive them up the wall. It is what I do. It's an ongoing process. Okay. Almost done with these numbers. Now, where did I put it? I grabbed it. I already lost it when I put. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put these up here so I can see them better. Anomic is saying, plus they don't even know the history of the term woke. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. And if you ask them to define woke, they're like, I don't, like, they can't even define the term, let alone know the history of it. And it's never a word that I would use for myself because that is, I mean, that is appropriation there. It's for, I mean, it's for black people to use in this very specific context. But if somebody wants to try and hurl it at me as an insult, then thank you. Thank you for recognizing. Oh, speaking of that, so there is, let me see if I can find it really quickly. It was started by a black woman, and maybe it was a black librarian. Um, Read Woke, which is basically like read books based in social justice so that you become aware, which is like becoming woke of what's going on around you and your surroundings. So yeah, read woke. And I want to say the public library, let me see if I still have, I'm going to um, open it right now. Um, no, I can't open it right now, but one of the libraries in Ontario created a reading list for books to read, like as part of the Read Woke movement challenge. And this one was about disability and put Crip Up the Kitchen like third in the list for books to read as part of the Read Woke challenge. And that felt really, really good. Like, really good. And not because I set out to be that, right? Because that is not for me. Like, you don't get to call yourself an ally. You don't get a, this, it's not for me to do. But to have, but I will not like turn up my nose. Yeah, it is awesome. I will not turn up my nose to be included on a Read Woke list curated by a librarian. I will take that, thank you. And it's really funny. I don't know if it's funny. Haha. It's interesting to me anyways. I am getting more pleasure or satisfaction reward out of all the like how many librarians, because librarians really know their communities and what they need, and how many librarians have decided to like shelf my book because that's like all hand selected. And there are now I've been able to locate officially, which is not surprising because, well, in some ways it is surprising because it is a Canadian title from a smaller traditional publisher, not one of the big corporate five. But I'm now officially in more, there are more copies of Crip Up the Kitchen in American libraries than there are in Canadian libraries, which is awesome too. Only because that is a tough situation, like a tough market. And the number of small, like independent bookstores that I'm in America too is blowing my mind. It's not just like at the big outlets that you can like online shop. Anyways, people can walk into a store and get my book across North America, which is just mind blowing to me. But the support from librarians and stuff is just extra. extra good. I mean, extra pleasing. What else? We got like 5 minutes here, and I feel like, oh, I know. Might have to do, and I forgot to do it this month. I'm going to catch up too. So um, right. So that would be left, right. I'm putting what leg I do my injections. So back to left, right, left, right. Dog food making days. And I'm saying they know a good book when they see it. Yes. Um, Sunday. I did it Wednesday. Do I do dog food today? Wednesday. I'm so discomfort. Or did I do it Thursday? Gosh, I'm gonna have to put my dog food making days in here later. Um, I also was supposed to start my biologic like a week ago, and they're still taking forever to like the pharmacy that ships it to you is a special pharmacy, and so I have to deal with that, and then I have to put like have 2 injections in my legs every week. At least the biologic is just for 1 month that I have to inject myself every week, and then it becomes monthly. I am some weeks I'm very good about my injections, and other weeks I really make myself hurt and bleed, and it's no fun. I don't like it, but it's necessary. Anything, I think, I think we're all set up for next month. Oh man, yeah. What a month! Like, isn't that just? It's been a really good month. Busy, overwhelming, but very good. And I get to say, I don't think you were here for part of the stream, is that I sold out on Amazon Canada on launch day. That was great. It took them 2 weeks to restock. That was not great. But yeah, I have bragging rights that I sold out on Amazon Canada on my pub day, which is something else, let me tell you. And I almost sold out on Amazon USA, and I was down to 3 copies, but they got everything back in stock really, really quickly. So yeah, I know Mike's saying, well, congrats on the book launch. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy for me too. It's been a journey, hasn't it? It's been quite the ride. One more launch day for the UK, and then gonna relax for a bit. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for the week. I haven't scheduled next week yet. I will before the end of the week. Um, and again, if something happens and I have to cancel, I will again make a community post about that. So check that if you don't see me streaming. I hope everyone has a safe week, and I'll see you. And I'm saying I enjoy chatting this week, and I might not be here next week because this is my youngest birthday. Oh, happy birthday to your youngest. Understandable if you're not here, but you can rewatch it later. So yeah, I'll see everybody who's able to make it next Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. British Daylight Time, where we do this all over again. Have a safe week, everybody.